I need more no people in my life too, because those are the real ones. And then when I'm that no person, even though people may dub it crazy, I'm writing my own script. Fuck it up a little bit.
What defines us as people doesn't come in the people that we meet. It doesn't come in what we do for a living. It doesn't come in what we enjoy doing. It comes in how we behave when we're going through some of the shittiest ass shit we've ever been through in our life. You know, I've been through a lot of stuff. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah, for sure.
I know.
You laughing, but it's true. And one thing that I have learned that I fail to live by, and you know this personally because we've known each other for almost 13 years, sometimes it is better to talk less and listen more because people will make a fool of themselves. And then you can use that knowledge to evaluate who you think that person truly is based off their actions to determine whether or not you want to have a true connection with them. Most of the poetry that I write, it's unpublished, but I'm working on it. I wanted to put it in a book or some type of some database or something to send out to people. But it's about the pain that I used to see in my childhood and when I was growing up through the surgeries and through the different homes that I moved from Eastern Street to Brook Hollow to where I sit now, through the divorce my parents went through, the whole 9 yards, to having to learn how to walk, not being able to walk, uh, you know, going through a lot of different stuff when my mom got cancer and almost died. I mean, so there's a lot of different things, but I think, one thing that I know about you is that your music and your works, um, regardless of how any of them turn out, which most of them are fantastic, all of them are fantastic, but they all have a real message. Like you listen to some of these rappers on the radio and on YouTube and all this stuff, and it's all that cookie cutter bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all that like I'm fucking these bitches and these hoes, and I've got all this money in the bank, and or whatever, and they don't have any real message about real pain, and what they do have can seem as though they're capping the whole way through. You know what I'm saying? It's not real, or at least it gives off that vibe that it's not real. I didn't mean to just insert myself. I know, but
Go ahead.
I've been through quite a bit, and I think that it's important for everybody to be open minded. I think that it's important for everybody to understand that we all got to grow, and the messages that you communicate show what you see about the world. And I feel like everybody goes to say, he was talking about people play a facade every day. It's true. People play a facade every day. I play a facade every day. You play a facade every day. You play a facade every day.
Yeah,
To a point.
gotta take on the role.
You've got to take on some
For
type
each
of role
level. Love, but it can be a quick turnaround.
Well, I'll say that.
And the idolization is a quick fall. And that's what's going to be touched on more, but no spoilers on that. To just have to feel it.
I'll say to the facade question. I mean, not question. Kind of point. People are playing a facade, but not everybody knows it. A lot of people are going through life just trying to disguise their pain by being somebody else, being with somebody else, using something else, being around something else. Everybody, I'm not going to say everybody, some people just want to escape. And they do that by adopting maybe a different personality, more using the substances, or more so ingrained into their work life that they don't know anything else besides just that. That's all they want to be around because it takes them away from what's going on in their life for real. It's never. I don't believe people play facades on purpose. No, scratch that. They do, but it's the why. That's always a more interesting thing on why people may do adopt something else.
Do you think that, like, it's the people that play the facade? Everybody plays a facade, but the people that know they're playing a facade are the most dangerous?
I say anybody can be dangerous when they have the tools to be.
Hmm. I don't know. If you see through this facade, those people are weak. The strongest thing is to be yourself and also to love and have that connectivity. The vision's the main thing, regardless of all the political agendas or distractions set forth against us. And that's where I feel like art and music, that's the biggest lesson I learned. That even though it was silly, it was more to me. That connectivity, being able to get on the same wavelengths with people and build things together, have collective understanding in the process.
It's all about, as you said, being around the right people. And I feel that's anywhere, not just in music. If you're around the right people, whatever field you're trying to be great at, then it helps the creativity flow. It helps in advancement. Obviously, some people are loners, but some people like to be. We all are social beings, so we need to be around people at some point. That's why, with the whole virus being around for 2 years plus now, it kind of put a dent in society a little bit. Because not a little bit, a lot. Because for a moment, you were forced to be. Well, you felt like you were forced to be in your house and not go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of people that are trying to make moves and make great strides in their life to become a better version of themselves, and then boom, you get hit with something might kill you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
How do you cope with that and realize that, all right, it could be it? What am I going to do? Have I done everything I wanted to do? Have I set my mind to what I'm supposed to be doing? What are my goals and values? Who really should be around me? Do these people really love me? Have I shown enough love and appreciate the people that have been around me for a while? So a lot of that was going through my mind. I know other people's minds as well.
I agree.
Yeah. I think.
Bring the mic a little closer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people make friends. Okay. I think that a lot of people make friends, and they know deep down. Some of them don't even know, but they know in a lot of general cases, they know deep down that that's not their real friends, and that those people are using them, whether they know it or not, for their own personal gain. And in reality, I tested at college because I'm in university right now. I got one more year. I'm. It baffles me how much people be like, okay, we're friends, we're groups, it's great. But think about this: when you're at home, back in your house or back in the general environment that you grew up in, around the people that you grew up around, how many of the people from the college or the university or wherever you were at, for me it's college, for some people it might be work, traveling, whatever, how many of them actually reach out to you to text you? How many of them reach out to you to give you a phone call? And on the half side, when you're at university, how many people that are in your original place are calling you while you're at university, checking on you? Think about that. People make these communities and they think that they're closer and closer to other people. And that's why I think it's dangerous when you look at somebody and you say, that's my best friend. Like I've got two best friends in this world. One of them's right here and the other one's in Wilmington. That's it. Because if you start saying, I have that's my best friend, that's a really good friend, that's a really good friend, then you're putting this facade in your mind, right? This idea that you have closer knit community than you actually do, and when you need help, no one's there for you, and you wonder why, and then you get sad.
Mm.
What do you think about that?
I agree.
I don't know if that's.
I'll say to that, I I do agree with that point, but I also feel that what a lot of people have been going through and put through their life is false names and claims for what they're trying to be attached to,
Right.
such as America, such as communities. What's a real community? Is that really a community? Your job, who you work for, is just a job. That's it. It's not a family. It's not a close bond. It's none of that. It is a job. You provide a service. You go home. That's it. You can get fired tomorrow. You can get promoted tomorrow. You
They
may
don't
not
give a
see
shit.
some of those people the next day. That's it. Nothing else. So you can put your blood, sweat, and tears in your job if you want to, unless that's what you really want to do. They not gonna care about you. It's not their job to care about you. They want to get what they're paying you for out of you, and that's it. If you get more, that's a bonus, but you're not getting a bonus.
Right, they're not gonna pay you in most cases. But like for instance, like you get your base salary, maybe you'll get a bonus at the end of the year. But for all that, all those sleepless nights that you had, all that time away from your family, you're not getting compensated for that, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Not really. So what I'm trying to say, pretty much, is when you go to work,
Yeah,
that's just work.
yeah,
Everything else outside of work is outside of work. They can call you family, but they don't care that much about you. They're not supposed to, because they just pay you for a service.
I feel like that's what's ingrained though, and I'm trying to fight against that. Like I've been learning from a new muse of mine that I need more no people in my life too, because those are the real ones. And then when I'm that no person, even though people may dub it crazy, I'm writing my own script. Fuck it up a little bit.
Fair. But I'll say to that, you are always going to be the controller of your own destiny
Hmm.
in anything you're doing. So you put your values and your worth in what's meaningful to you and keep striving for that, no matter what it is.
Yeah, man. Gotta be able to tell them, fuck it. We aren't all perfect. Fuck it.
Right? Because who job is not to be perfect, it's to be the best person of you.
Yep,
That's
we
not
can be
perfect.
better each day.
Exactly.
You gotta compete with yourself. No one else is gonna toot your horn. You gotta be hype. You gotta be at them bouts with yourself to get better.
you
You
know. Oh, go ahead.
So
Sorry, I didn't mean
anything.
to interrupt.
Nah,
There you
I was
go.
about to just say you have to have, in my opinion, a mental evaluation of yourself every single day. That's how you that's you know how you upkeep a car, so you upkeep yourself. So just make sure, like, all right, what have I done today? What have I done good, bad, and different today? And what can I do better tomorrow? What can I avoid to not do the same mistakes I did yesterday or last week?
Yeah, I think that what defines us as people doesn't come in the people that we meet. It doesn't come in what we do for a living. It doesn't come in what we enjoy doing. It comes in how we behave when we're going through some of the shittiest ass shit we've ever been through in our life. I know every single person in this room has had stages in their life where they're like, damn, I want to go jump off a building right now. But I think that those particular situations are what make us who we are. It's what gives us grit. It doesn't define what we enjoy. It doesn't define who we're with, maybe, but it it tests strength. And I think when you're, you know, sitting here in this world, because life is nothing but a test. Life is nothing but a test. And the thing is, as you get older and older, it's like you're going down the paper answering questions. You can determine whether or not you want to let your pencil get duller and duller, or you want to sharpen that pencil and become better and better at what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the hard situations, the hard circumstances, the ones where we're like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of bed in the morning. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to work. I don't know if I'm going to go kill myself tonight. That's what defines us as people. That's what makes music good. That's what makes real messages. Pain is what presses progress on. You know.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. So
I'll say pain is one of the most relatable. Not necessarily what defines us, in my sole opinion. That's a part of what makes us who we are. But define us, I don't like using define because there's a lot of stuff. Like you said, life is about how much you can take. Life is about what you've done and what you're leaving behind. True. But also what defines us is what all we've done in general, what we give to this world, good and bad. How we are when we are in our down moments, but also how we are when we are in our happiest moments as well. Because I feel like a lot of days people love to talk about, even though it's always a part of it, so much of the bad going on in the world. Of course, the good may not get as much publicity, but there also are good things to talk about as well. But to have people relate and have people drawn in, the bad has to be talked about, but doesn't have to be harped on so much.
You know, it's facts. Our society's trauma bonded with itself. Every news thing, and this, and then it's like, oh, the pity parties. But it's like, do you even care for that in your main vicinity? What's your goal, aspirations, your self actualization? But I feel like a lot of people like to do that. Go on to like bigger issues they see to look good or whatnot. But it's like, that's not something you're striving for every day, or your angles in the future, your dreams. That's just what's given to you, thrown at you. Unplug for a bit, then see what drives you personally, what you got to get correct. Don't worry about people's opinions, basically. Fuck that, too. You got to do what you got to do for you and those others close to you in life, and that's the facts of the matter. To see everybody thrive. Pass the batons. Don't compete with other people, just yourself.
You know what I think the most dangerous thing that ever happened in society was? Social media.
I'll say social media was the worst and the greatest thing to happen of all time.
Yeah, bro.
I equate that to the internet as well.
Yeah, we here because the internet. I say what I want because the internet, freedom of speech.
People don't hear our music without the internet and
Yeah,
social
bro.
media. So you people, we can say, oh, it's the worst thing to happen. Also one of the best things as well.
Exactly.
Catch 22.
Can I tell you this, though? What do you think of this? Go up to any, say somebody that's 18, 19, 20, 21, you know, like all of us, general, you know, 20s,
Yeah.
early 20s, in their teens now, maybe still in high school.
Right.
You walk up to them and you take away their cell phone. They're going to lose their shit. They're going to lose their shit, not because you took away their phone, but because they are dependent on what the corporations have made for them to be dependent upon, while they're microdosing themselves into into some type of consistency that they can't get off of.
We know how to provide technological addictions at this time. Same with the additives in food. Take a bite of the apple from time to time with the screen time. Feel me?
I don't know.
I'll say to that
Steve
point.
Jobs did acid. Bill Gates too. Kid Cudi, ASAP Rocky, Childish Gambino, the Beatles. Fuck. Carrie Fisher. Your own Princess Leia. So who the fuck is gonna judge me in America? I'm done with the black and white, the red and the blue. It's in the past. I just want to be me and free. American boy. That's how I'm feeling, bro. For real, bro. You said talk. I'm gonna talk the talk and walk the walk. I just want to do.
That's fair. That's pretty much how I feel as well. I'm just gonna do me.
Yeah.
Because we all, obviously, most of the people who's on TV talking about things, they have a sponsor or they're controlled by something or somebody. It's just what it is. And I'm cool with that because at this point, I know, like, all right, they're paid to say this or they are not genuine about what they're saying. Some may mean well, but most of the time it's not genuine. So I don't care about what they gotta say.
Yeah.
It's all for a fad. Oh, Black Lives Matter. Fad. Paid for. Bought. Whatever. Oh, vote Democrat. Vote Republican. Donald Trump's the worst president ever. No, but whatever. He's controlled and put there just like everybody else was. He just wasn't with the status quo. Fine. No, he's racist. It is what it is. Some people are in relationships, some people are in power. Get over it. Do what you got to do to get better in a better position. Whatever. At the end of the day, you just got to do you. Because you can't help nobody else until you help yourself. That's a fact.
You're right.
Facts.
And don't complain about what's going on outside when you can't take care of your family either.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Something I've noticed, I go, so I've been around different groups of people my entire life. But one thing that I hate is when people think that money is the ticket to all happiness. The truth is, money is not the ticket to all happiness. I have been. And now, it makes happiness easier. I would rather be sad than sad and hungry,
Yeah.
right? I would rather be cold than cold and homeless. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather have a house. I would rather have blankets. I would rather, money does buy happiness, but only to a certain point.
Temporary.
And what people in this culture, especially, at least I think that, is they think, oh, once I get the Lambo, oh, once I get the Ferrari, once I get the Rolls Royce, once I get the top iPad, the this, the that, the whatever, that I'm gonna be happy. And now you're seeing it in the older generation. You look at the older generation, 60s, 50s, 70s, whatever, and they got everything they could ever wanted, and they're just the most miserable fucks on the face of the earth. You know what I mean?
It's because they didn't fix themselves first. They got it. They worked for it. They deserved it because they put in the time they needed to put into it, but they didn't fix themselves.
Yeah.
That's why. Or maybe they put a little bit too much time into their work and they lost their family along the way.
Yeah.
Maybe they hit hard times and got abused and used on drugs, and they just went through a little phase. Alcohol addiction.
Yeah, it depends all on what you want to trade, what you decide is fair, and what you want to deposit in the bank of life. So,
Because you got to give up something when you're on the road to success.
pick a card, any card.
I was watching something. Y'all know Dax?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching something on Snapchat or TikTok or whatever platform he was on, and he said, "Who decided that an hour was 60 minutes, and that college is supposed to take 4 years, high school is supposed to take 4 years, and you're supposed to retire when you're 60?" And I was watching that on the way over here, and I was thinking to myself, wait, we're in a construct built by capitalist people. Capitalist in the sense, like, not like I work for it, I want to buy it, but capitalist in the sense like I want to abuse people's labor for my profit, to maximize our efficiency. And then you got to think about this. Some people get so into the grind of the matrix that they lose sight of who they are themselves, and I think that goes into what you were saying. Like, they don't know who they are, and before they know it, they're just dead. You know what I mean? You get up, you go to school for the first 18 years of your life. If you're lucky, you go to college in this country at least, and then if you're lucky, if you're lucky by societal standards, you'll get a job for 20 or 30 years. You'll work, you'll pay 25% of your income in taxes, save the rest of it, and have a death fund. They call it retirement fund. I call it a death fund because it's like by that time you've lived all your life. You've never had any experiences except for behind a desk talking to Pam in HR, and you don't even know what to do with the rest of your life because you ain't got nothing left. You got all the money in the world, but everybody you ever knew that's your age has either got health problems, is dead, or you lost them along the way. And I've seen this multiple times where kids hate their parents, where cousins don't talk to cousins, where brothers don't talk to sisters, because we're so focused on the grind put by the matrix that we don't understand and we don't live our own mission. We don't work on our own grind. We work on the matrix's grind, and before we know it, we're just dead.
Well, a lot of people in life are losers. Sad to say, but that's just how it is. A lot of people in life are just want to be what the status quo they just want to be, and that's their choice because they don't want to change and they don't want to be better or another version that could be beneficial. Some people just have a job because they don't want to be on the street, and that's their only way not be on the street. Just stay with the job that they hate. But I don't blame the Matrix. I just say that's just people. That's just, in my opinion anyway, who they are and what they're doing for the moment and time being. Because we all have a choice to do what we do and don't want to do.
Yeah, you can fall into the NPC, call up on some food like you playing the role. It's like, I don't know, change it up if you choose. You got customization options these days in any form, you know what I'm saying?
I think you do
Now.
have to blame people individually as well.
Well,
I
if
think
you want to. It's
I-
not your right to judge, you know.
Yeah, I don't blame.
We have
It's
a
just who
wrong-
they are.
Yeah, it's human
Yeah.
nature.
Is it blaming if it's their responsibility?
It isn't
It's
their
just who they are.
responsibility
They do
to
what they
be
wanna
or
do.
good or bad.
They do what they want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not. It's not my place to say, "Oh, it's your fault."
Be better.
It's
That's
just-
why people are like, Kim K, are you really the person to say that? You know, he was getting piped off the Molly, etc. Sold your own tape, then tried to take a black man down.
But Kanye West did still marry her, so
Yeah,
it's
I
not
mean,
her
it was,
fault.
it
It's not
was
her
her
fault.
game.
Yeah, it's
Who
not her
knows,
fault.
As a Gemini, I knew Gemini too. We like some toxic shotties, emotional
Yeah.
vampires. It's all real. It's deeper than that, like on the aspect, but they just want to paint it as crazy if they don't have the control. These people in power. So it's like right now's the best time to be an independent artist or just do what you want to do, live your life how you want to. Like, we're young. Some people are getting married trying to fall into the roles early, but staying with one person for life, you aren't going to grow at all. They're going to think they know you just from that time, shared experiences. But nah, there's more to it. Maybe come back, have some space and time, grow, go back to the roots with it. But you have to experience as much as you can so you feel fulfilled. Then you can learn that more is less. You'll be content with just you. Then find your tribe. Then you can make some stuff happen, your dreams, however you want to go about it. But I feel individual drive, you got to keep that to yourself. Like I said, no one's going to toot your horn. You got to have that fire inside you. Like, what am I going to do today? What's something new I can do? How can I improve? How can I tap on? What do I want to do in life? That desire, that passion. Like, you got to learn. If you set limitations for yourself or take those negative inner voices that follow you, you're just going to be stagnant. So it's like, nah, fuck that. Show them you can do whatever.
Watch it.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go get a burger or some shit. I don't want to talk about podcast. Just char grill. I know the time.
You say you had something to say? I saw you trying to say something over there. What's up?
Oh. I was just thinking while he was saying that about the Depp Heard trial. But
I don't know much about it. Explain a little bit. Give me an overview.
so basically, Johnny Depp, he was in the Pirates of the Caribbean and all those movies and stuff.
Yeah, talking about that. Gotcha.
And from what I gather, he was, on drugs, and he was, he wasn't the greatest human being, but she wasn't either. And so he goes off. This is what I understand now. None of this. I could have a little bit of a misconstruence, but anyways, one of them filed for divorce, and then the other one, I think Johnny filed for divorce, and then Heard, his wife, came out and said that he abused her, and then he came out and said, no, that's not true. She actually abused me. So they're in a trial right now. In a defamation trial because she is a slimy witch that is trying to,
Yeah, man.
But when you go against the status quo, because status quo is if I'm a woman and I'm dating somebody, I say, "Oh my God, he hit me," you know what I mean, or whatever. It gone. Life is gone immediately, gone. I feel at least. But now the roles are reversed, where she actually abused him, and the media is going crazy. The stereotypes are going crazy. So go ahead.
We all know men and women aren't the same,
No, no,
aren't on the
no, no.
same level.
Well,
But
not societally, we are. Like, everyone can be just as devious, and some of them know those ships, just like Amber Heard or Jada Pinkett, for example.
true.
With my psych degree, I know, and I'm trying to go the best way about it with the art, but it's like, it's also not my responsibility. They make those choices. People project their emotions. Shotters will hit you with a smirk when they know they're getting their way. You just gotta learn how to run the game and make it yours. Like, there's 20 roles. There's the king, the fool, page, and all the situations. So your main thing is to be 20 steps ahead of the 20 roles given at each time. That's how I feel about it anyway.
And when people stop playing their role, things go out of whack.
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah.
Yeah, for whoever, I guess, is desiring their own aims from them. Or
So you
overall.
said
Yeah.
you said men and women are on different levels.
Of course,
What you mean by that?
you're gonna always gonna see people try to dispute and argue a certain point. But when you look at when it gets down to nitty gritty, that you're gonna know that women are gonna look to a man for guidance and leadership. That's just how it is. And when men don't provide that, they don't respect them. They don't look at them the same. Neither does society as well. Men can't cry. Men can't show emotions. Not saying they should or shouldn't, but that's just how it is in
And bitches
societal
act mad
standing.
weird when they know that you don't need them. And you can't be simping when all the boys are saying push that P. Maybe generation trauma to our brothers coming on, but it's like, nah, I'd rather see you push P than get tied up in a toxic cycle. Like, you gotta end that loop to progress at a time. Otherwise, that's why what's happening now with Smith, Pinkett, into her, like we're talking right now, that's coming to light because it needs to be brought to light. Like, entanglements are biblical, my nigga. You feel me? Like, Hammond to Jezebel spirit, that's been since time. Those rules. And it's like, if you want to stay stuck in that for the cost of deeper fame, the clout, whatever, validation in the relationship or growing together, that's your own choice to do. But we have these things handed to us. It's just becoming more apparent. But it's been written throughout time, many cultures, congruent. Science would like to tell you that the scientific method is the only way to evaluate these things. But when you literally look at the statistics, the math throughout time, it's there. Or if you look at physics and space, there's been depictions of things that are just coming there like, oh, this has been confirmed now, but nah, it's been there before. But people were dubbed crazy for having those abstract ideas of what could be beyond. People thought there was a flat earth. But it's like, nah, there's more than us. Always. We're on that path to learn, but if we limit ourselves with just thinking that only we know what's best without any research, then that's where you fall short. People stay watching the TV shows like Wally on their ass. And that's what we end up in. Like, a lot of people are dying mentally and in the soul before they leave the world physically nowadays, and that's what it is. The fight's about finding life every day.
And lack of love is one of those components that's leading to it the most. Because you could say, oh, people are wrong for switching genders, but you have to ask why. There's trauma there that made them do something like that. There's trauma that made people switch to like the same sex. It's not just, oh, they woke up and said, hey, I'm this. Nah.
Yeah, but now
It's
we're at a point where people don't want to even have discussions due to sensitivity or trying to play that role or seem good or bad. But it's like sex and politics, is that our biggest worry to worry about? People be offended if you say that, but when you think about it, it's silly. Like, that's your own personal business, but it's like, I guess that people are being judged seriously, but most people aren't thinking about your sexual practices from day to day. But yeah, there's always a reason.
And
People
God,
don't want to
I'm
talk
sorry.
about it, bro.
Huh?
I guess there's a fear too, but that's where it's brave for people to just live in their skin.
What's being pushed, that's where the issue becomes, where it's being forcibly pushed on you on society through networks, TV shows. That's where it becomes an issue,
Yeah.
and that's where people have the biggest problem. Is that it's like you see, sometimes you may see a commercial, every other commercial got some gay stuff going on in it.
Hmm.
You do what you got to do, but you can't be mad when somebody say, "Yo, that's kind of weird," because it
Yeah.
just is.
That's
You know,
where
I
I'm
was
not
cool with
even
it
mad
though.
at Chappelle or any of the comedians in time, because the lesson I learned, especially during COVID being isolated, is comedy makes light of things. Def Jam, throughout history, gives us topics people are afraid to talk about, but then allows you to see, oh, maybe we can laugh at it or not take it so seriously. Like, now people got the glizzies and shit. No homo shouldn't really exist. Like, with
Can't
my
be the hot
boys,
dog
I
no
know for
more.
decades, we still have that from middle school. They be like, no homo. But I'm like, nigga, we know each other for time. Why you being weird? I love you, man. Come here. So I appreciate that part of the time. But it's like, there are real darkness to the world where we need to save the children's mind first before promoting anything that makes adults comfortable who are still finding themselves or who try to reject knowledge and progression.
Human trafficking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so real, and we don't need to sexualize any of the youth.
What was that
Just
television show on
for
Netflix?
what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What was that television show on Netflix that there was an uproar about something about like, you know what I'm talking about? No, there was a movie that Netflix released that was like, it just it was very sexualizing to groups of people that it should not have been.
But there are probably a few
Yeah,
of those all
there's
the
a lot of
time,
them,
bro.
but one thing that I was okay with the messages like, okay, you want to have a gay guy on a beer commercial, you want to have
Yeah.
a
I'm sorry, but I'm like, it is getting sort of redundant.
It's forced,
Yeah.
being forced. That's
Yeah,
the issue
that's where
comes.
people are upset, but I'm like getting to this point where I'm getting in my own skin and learning the dynamics of the things. I'm like, shit, fuck that. Go fuck bitches. You know, that let that fill your mind. Don't think about fucking another man's well, you know their business. It's like just go fuck bitches, make money, stack up,
yeah.
stay focused. That's a distraction. That's where I'm like, why is that even a political thing? They know what they're doing. But we ain't gotta talk about that. Just listen to that push and pee, bro. That's the lesson you need to know as a man in the modern times. Push that pee, bro.
Yeah.
Get your bread, make your foundation for the future.
I
But don't get comfortable. Yeah, fuck on a few shotties, but don't get comfortable. Don't get stuck.
You can have more than
Hmm?
one woman.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
See,
can.
It'll
I
build your confidence for sure. Like in college, like my papa childish said, yeah, I was making up for fucks I missed in high school, like trying to fuck around with these ladies and the bad bitches, finding the balance. But I was also, I had to admit I was a flirt. I learned that lesson too. But it's like you don't learn if you don't try. And I'm learning my role sometimes. Yeah, I'm the insensitive asshole, like you're trippy. I choose to be the villain, but also what I do makes me a hero by showing people to be free. Like it's not that deep. You got to be able to accept yourself. Otherwise, you're just gonna be always trying to appease someone else.
Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say, uh, going back to the thing from like 30 seconds ago, like I feel like some of it is for inclusion, but the majority of it is for proposition of a political agenda, right? Like I got family members that are gay, and they've been gay since forever. I mean, and they're not doing anything. They're not sitting there going, "Look at me," like they're just they are, And
Yeah, man.
I think that,
Like, I think the
that's who
main
they
issue
are.
is for straight males, testosterone pumping, however y'all call us, cis. It's that flamboyancy, bruh. Like, I love to see a shawty throw that ass. That's just my preference. But then it's like, okay, someone seeking validation. I know it goes on all ends in every spectrum. But yeah, sometimes you don't want to see that homie dropping the split or throw it back. Like, it's just like, okay. But then it's like, I'm going to do something else. But it doesn't challenge you if you're comfortable in your skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas, I ain't gonna call them losers because I'm trying to be a more peaceful shit. But y'all got me ready to torch shit on some more shit. You know what I'm saying? Summertime fucking up Gemini. But yeah, it ain't that big a deal. But some of these losers just be not getting bitches, not getting money. Like, ooh, this dude out here doing that. And it's like, nah, he's living his life. He's being free too in his own sense. Just moving a little bit, getting loose, dropping a little low. But it's like, not everyone wants to see that. People are entitled to their own opinions. But that's where I feel people are getting distracted and trying to project their opinions as the truth. Like, absolute truth. And that's where they get fucked up. That's where they get the rage. That's where they're unsatisfied with themselves internally. That's why they gotta press and type on the forum boards or always have something to say or be competitive. And then as a black male, I know people will say, I'm being combative or defensive when they're trying to control my take. And I laugh. They'll be like, oh, you're getting nervous. I know people laugh when they're nervous. I'm like, nah, I'm confident. I'm seeing the role. So I'll be the joker who talks to the thief in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Introduce them to vices or a different way of thinking, but I'm like, nah, it's time for a change. People always ask, why is nothing progressing? Or like you said, why is the world so bad? But that's a loop of suffering. Like, what are you gonna do to make it change? That's all. What are you gonna do to make it change? We gonna sit here and talk? What's your change? What's your idea? Give me ideas. Let's get something flowing. But people don't want to do that. They just want to stay in the politics, the dynamics, the roles. But you have to make that change yourself if you want to. Do something different every day. Try something new. Don't be copy paste if you don't want to. You don't have to limit yourself. There's many options in this time for job opportunities, travel, connecting, meeting with people to really have a fulfilling life. That's Yeah, hit it from all angles. I don't know. However, you gotta get there. Fuck it. Shit dropping. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can march and complain on social media all day, but if you're not making a change yourself in your own household, then what are you really doing or talking about? Just air. You're just wasting space, wasting air at that point. Nothing, they're not going to change it for you. Not for you. Not for what you're trying to say. Nah. You have to change yourself.
Yeah,
Bottom line.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
And no one's going to help you. You have to do that. You can't wait. You can't afford to wait. They're not going to come give you a hug or help you. I got to be you. It has to be you.
I think that with the protesting thing, this might get me in trouble in a few decades, but I honestly think that the the issue when it comes to all this wokeness and this woke culture and this protesting, honestly, and me and Tim have talked about this before, me and Swami,
Yeah.
white women, liberal white women, sitting there telling me, honestly, mostly white women, liberal white women, but I'm gonna just say it's probably um, white people in general. Uh, you know, uh, I'll go ahead and say it. How are you gonna sit here and tell me that I'm supposed to be offended about shit that you're not? Why are you speaking for people when they're not even upset?
Yeah, man.
Why the fuck are you doing that? For instance, I posted a couple months ago. I reposted a video from a black comedian onto my Snapchat story. I thought it was hilarious. It was making fun of how white people can't jump. It was fucking hilarious. And I got yelled at in class by a white person about how I was basically he insinuated, never actually said, but basically he insinuated. We'll keep his name out of this because I don't want to get no defamation lawsuit, but that I was a racist and an anti-Semite because of that. And the thing is, I'm Polish, and I'm pretty sure based off our family records that we have a lot of Jewish in us too. So I don't know how the person who I just don't get that. I don't understand. And I felt like, why are you sitting here telling me that other people are offended, but when I go talk to the other people and I want to improve myself and I want to make sure, why are they not offended and you're just the one telling me that they need to be? You know what I'm saying? Why are you protesting about shit that nobody gives a shit? I don't know if that makes sense.
Projection, man. They might be the real racists in the room, possibly.
Oh my God.
They're just talking to get
Oh yeah,
that
bro.
little self-hate, self-projection off of them so they can feel a little better.
I'm about to flip, man, but I'm going to tell you what. When that man did that to me in front of 20 other people, probably a little less than 20, but about 20 other people, full classroom of students, I about shoved my good foot so far up his ass that he walked like Jesus, or excuse me, he walked like me for the next 40 days and 40 nights till Jesus come back. I mean, I was livid. I was upset because he kept saying, I have a black daughter. I have this. I have this. I'm like, bro, if you're sitting there
Yeah, I
qualifying what you're
have.
saying by the fact that you have a daughter who is biracial, you've got problems because you're not only going to be a bad, like, I don't know. It was bad. It was bad. I was like, bro,
Let me ask you something, though.
yeah.
Why did that make you so upset?
Why did it make
If you know that doesn't apply to you.
it made me upset because it happened in front of people in a manner it should not have occurred when it could have been solved in 30 seconds and I would have bought the guy a beer.
Fair enough.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that was what made me
Yeah.
upset. Not that what I said was, I'm trying to defend myself, because I have nothing to defend. I didn't do anything wrong. What made me upset was he came for the jugular.
It's that Gemini.
When he could have come up and been like, hey, man, that wasn't cool. Please don't do that again. And then I would have blocked him and done it anyways, because it was funny as hell. But he wouldn't have been part of that situation. I would have bought him a beer, and we would have been cool. But he went for the jugular and tried to go for my personal career, saying that he could have gone to the authorities or gone to the school authorities and shit. I'm like, bruh, no one gives a damn about you. Like, no one gives a I'm sorry, yo, but that shit made me. I hope you're okay with me telling you that story. I really don't. I mean, that's the story that happened to me, and it happened to me earlier this semester, and it hit me for like a week or two. Like, they say men are supposed to be strong, but man, I cowered away in my apartment for a couple days because I was like, yo, what if people actually think what he said about me? And then I got to the point where I was like, man, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Because my feelings rely in the people that I confide in. Not some random ass motherfucker 5 seats down from me in a lecture for English. Sorry.
Yeah. When you obtain, or maybe just get a little bit notoriety for what you say or what you do,
Yeah.
people gonna like you and hate you regardless. Even if you say something that you know is true, know it's factual, they're gonna hate you regardless. They're gonna love you regardless.
Yeah.
But they can switch on you. They can switch tomorrow. It's weird. So you just have to take your lumps and know that you got good people and great people in your corner, and you'll be just fine.
And you know the thing is, after he wronged me, I still want the best for him. And I want the best for his wife, and I want the best for his daughter. But I simultaneously am kind of like, yo, how come you did that? Like, that made me so angry. But I still want the best for him. And I definitely want the best for what he can, provide for his family and his future success. And I don't understand that, because a lot of people, when you do something to wrong them, they'll hate you for all of existence. I know I've wronged people. I've made mistakes. I've wronged Swami over here.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
Walk it out, though.
people, there are some people on this planet, because you're not really friends. Oh, whoops. You're not really friends if you've never been through a turmoil. You're not really friends if you've never been through a situation where you're like, damn, are we still friends? You've never had that trial and tribulation. I don't know. That's just how I think about it. You might have a different view.
Yeah, you don't. I understand. It doesn't have to get that far, but I totally understand your point. You're not real friends unless you've been through hardships together. Not to that extent are we still friends extent, but if you and him have separate issues, he hits you up or she hits you up, if that's the case, and y'all can be there for each other. And there's not a lot of real friends in this world. There's only less than a handful for the most part. If you have a handful, great. I
Yeah.
feel happy for you. But most of the time, you're not going to get the 5 people that are real friends of yours in your life. And that's fine because it takes a long time to get to know somebody and a long time to know if somebody's really there for you and wants the best for you. Because most people in this world do not. They don't care about you. They're not worth anything to you. You're not worth nothing to them. It's just what it is. And that's
And they friendly
okay.
with you. They friends with you because they want something from you.
Yeah. They're using their representatives to get what they want. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend like that last year.
Mm.
Leave his name out too. But I caught on to the fact he was stealing my shit. Like answers for materials and stuff. And then I was like, yo, you stealing my answers, yo. Like, you just call me when you need help with the homework. All you do is call me to help you with shit. You never, like, bruh. And we did have, deep conversations. But I guess in my mind, because when I confronted him about it, and I did say something to somebody else. I did mention, I was like, yo, it kind of bothered me what he did. I wasn't trying to talk behind his back, but it got to me. It got to me. And I said something to somebody, and I'll admit I shouldn't have done that. But, word got around back to him that I had told my friend that I felt like he may be stealing answers. He didn't even call me. He didn't even send a text message to say, yo, man, what's good? Are we cool? Hey, that wasn't cool. Nothing, just gone for no reason whatsoever. I tried to confirm and be like, yo, I wasn't trying to talk behind your back. I wasn't spreading rumors about the guy. But it got to me that one time, and I was like, yo, I got to talk to somebody about it. And I was talking to my friend about it, and somebody overheard. And, you know, um, then he never spoke to me again. He never spoke to me again. And he never, ever, ever even called. No text message. Just gone. Treats me like I don't even exist. And that's when I knew he was stealing answers. Because as soon as it happened, soon as he cut me off, I heard from other people he was doing the same. He started doing the same shit to them. Or they felt like he was doing the same shit. And I'm not saying I should have done what I did, but it proved to me that was one of the hard times at college. Where I learned, like, damn, like, it's so minute. Somebody stealing answers, like, who gives a damn? It's not money. It's not actual shit. But it's intellectual property. And while it is small, it's kind of big.
It's the principle of it all.
Yeah.
It's the I'm willing to do this to get where I want to be. I don't care who it's coming from or how it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take it, no matter what the cost is. And that was a cost. And also, you learn that even though somebody may be doing this to you and you feel it, you have to address them. And not, even though it may be getting to you, you have to let it out by speaking to them. Or at least in some other form besides saying it to somebody else in that moment. So everybody learns something about themselves or about somebody else.
Yeah. I didn't mean to ramble on for so long, but that.
Oh, man. Go ahead, do what you have to do, man.
Yeah.
That's what life's about, right? Just do what you have to do.
What made you want to start this podcast? Like, in general, the podcast. Not like this episode, but
Okay.
like.
It's a great question. Being around the friends that I'm around, they're not here right now, but being around my friends and we talk about things that at the time our age group I wasn't feeling like our age group was talking about on a platform. And I've been listening to podcasts for about 3 years up until that point. So I say, hey, I called them up. Let's start doing this. And from 2018 in June or July, whatever day XXX Tentacion died, that's when we did our first episode of our podcast, of our older podcast.
Yeah.
This is the newer version of it, but our first podcast, it was that.
Yeah.
Very first episode. And it's another platform for people on to come up as us, as we were at the time, wanting to get our thoughts off and say what we have to say to people around us, because we have an older perspective, but we're also young and still growing up at the same time. And also want to talk to different people about their journeys, how they come up in the scene, and what they're trying to do in their future to be a better version of them, what they learned the most, and other things such as that. People, businesses, organizations, whoever that may be, or whatever place that may be, want to get more of that perspective to learn from them in each field that we may be interested in, or other fields such as that.
Yeah.
And if that's the case,
Yeah, I'm ready to eat a little bit.
oh yeah, we was about to, that was the last point. Y'all have anything else y'all want to say real quick to wrap the show up?
I really enjoyed the hospitality today, sir.
No problem, man.
Appreciate it.
I try to have that with everybody I meet until I have to do otherwise.
Yeah.
It's good to talk. This is good to talk, for real.
You know, it's one of the first podcasts I've done.
Congratulations. I appreciate you wanting to be on the show, man.
Thank you.
You didn't have to sit here. Could have sat right over there. That would have been fine, but still, you decided to sit and chat.
The chair is comfortable. I think I'll call it Chad.
I bet it is.
Well, anyways, thank you, man. And this establishment you got, it's amazing.
Appreciate it.
It's a manifestation of dreams.
I'll say to cut you off, I don't own the establishment. I work in this establishment.
Oh, okay.
Let me clarify. I am a contract engineer / videographer for a recording studio, AMI Studios.
Okay.
That's what I am. And I learned my tutelage under them and from other places, but on the engineering and music side under them for years some change. But I've been working here for 2.
Okay.
So it's all about learning from people who've done it before you to get where you want to be. And I can say I definitely am doing it and done it times 5, 10, and plan on doing it times 30.
Right.
And that was my goal, my mindset when I found this place on Google. I want to learn this. I want to get better at this. And that's what I've done. And I said I was going to do it, and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Where can people find you all if you want them to find you?
Apple Music, Spotify, Instagram, I don't know, you name it. I'm going to pop out on more, though. You can get on the SoundCloud for this next one, but you can find me on the gram at The Walking Psychedelic. And then on Apple Music, you can type in the Wu-Tang name, Phantom Swami.
I'm going to get your contact information because I'm about to be publishing some of these poems, but I'm trying to get all the situations, I guess the situation situated.
Okay.
I don't have any particular platforms published right yet, but I'm going to be doing that soon.
All right.
So I'm hopefully, if somebody's listening to this in the future, we'll have something tagged in some type of description or something.
All right.
All right.
Sir. All right. This is 2.5 LLCs podcast. My name is Dre. We had Walking Psychedelic, A-Tim, a.k.a. Phantom Swami. And say your name for the people once again, sir.
J9 Harrison.
J9 Harrison. And this is episode 41. We are out of here. Deuces.